My presentation is on iPads and communication. I'm not going to go a little bit about me because you have your blurbs right there that you have read. I am going to talk a little bit about my organization. My organization is the Center for Accessible Technology. How many people have heard of us? Yay! We were founded in the early 1980s. When we were founded, we were called DCCG, or the Disabled Children's Computer Group. Apple computers were coming out, and they were a lot of parents saw their promise for their children with disabilities. But of course, time changed. Those children grew up, technology changed, demographics of people with disabilities changed, and so we have changed, and we're now the Center for Accessible Technology. And recently, our latest step was to move into the Ed Roberts campus. A little bit about us. We got an iPad grant. So we were granted this iPad grant through the California Communications Access Foundation. Some of the pros that I have experienced with iPads and folks with autism: it's an accessible, intuitive interface. It's a very easy one. You heard Ms. Schumacher before, whose son did not like computers, but has a very easy time accessing an iPad. And so it's a very accessible and intuitive interface. It's got multimedia. So you've got sights, sounds at your fingertips, literally, and it's multifunction. It can be a compass, and then it can be an inclinometer, and then it can be a movie projector, and then it can be a writing tool. So it can be many, many things. Those are some of the pros that I have seen. Some of the cons that I have seen. That boon and bane, because it can be so many things, it's multifunction, means it can be a tool and a toy. And becomes difficult to discern and distinguish when it needs to be a tool and when it can be a toy. It also opens up a can of worms for perseveration and obsessive behavior. So that can be challenging, and it can also open the door for users on the autistic spectrum to gravitate toward device-based over people-based interactions. And that can be a challenging thing. I know that it's a communication tool, but I want it to facilitate your interaction with people. I don't want you to just be interacting with the device. So those are some of the cons that I have seen, and some of the strategies that I've heard about, that I've talked about. Using the restrictions. How many people know anything about iPad restrictions? Great, okay. If you would like to see iPad restrictions, you can ask me at the end and I'll be happy to show you. iPad restrictions allow you to do things like turn off the internet, turn off YouTube, turn off the ability to delete apps. So those kinds of things that tend to be problematic with users on the spectrum and with many users. The ability to turn off in-app purchases, which anyone who's had a child who's bought a $50 barrel of cookies can attest to. It's nice to turn off in-app purchases. The other strategy, so there's the judicious use of restrictions to facilitate when it can be a tool and when it can be a toy. And then there are usage guidelines, and I think this is an emerging area of need that is getting a lot of buzz, but there aren't really any good guidelines around it. So I'm going to give you just some ones that I have heard. So some guidelines around when and or where it is a tool versus when and or where it is a toy. In other words, which apps you can use in which contexts, either temporal context or spatial context. And you can delineate these distinctions in usage through things like timers, through things like colored cards, through things like, those are the only two I was able to think of. So the idea is to set some kind of boundaries. Now it is this kind of a device, and now it is this other kind of device. I think that anyone who is going to work with somebody on the spectrum or anyone who is on the spectrum and is prone to that perseverative behavior needs to figure out some kind of guidelines to make sure that it doesn't become a distractor. It becomes something that, it doesn't become a detractor from you. It becomes something that helps you. All right, let's go ahead and close that one up. Let's do communication apps versus built-in tools. Built-in tools would be 1, communication apps would be 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, a couple ones. We'll do 2s first because they're the first ones up. All right, we'll do 2s first. Communication apps, they kind of fall into 3 basic categories. Simple communication, graphics, icon, picture-based communication, and text-based communication. So I'll go through them kind of one at a time, and I can demonstrate them for you. So simple communication, here's a smattering of some that are simple communication apps. So let me show you the first one and the last one. Answers, yes, no, HD, and small talk. So let me come over here. Let me wake this guy up. Okay, let me focus him again. Good. All right. So small talk. Let's do conversation. And I'm going to need to turn it for this one. Here. Is that upright for you guys? Good. All right. Small talk is a series of free apps that are put out by this organization called Lingraphica. And one of the cool things, so at its most basic, you can choose recorded male or recorded female voice. And I have trouble speaking, but I can understand you. Let me put my mic closer to that. Okay, let me try that again.
I have trouble speaking, but I can understand you.
Can you hear that okay? Good, good. So you have a whole series of...
How is your family?
And it's a human recording. Because it's a human recording, I cannot add to it. I can rearrange and delete items, but I cannot add to them. One of the nice things about this is that if I turn it, oh, I think I have my, lock on. If I turn it, thank you, to landscape instead of portrait, I have, hello, landscape, thank you. I have a completely different visual interface. This one emphasizes the pictures over the words, but it doesn't blow the item that I select up to fill the whole screen.
Tell me about your weekend.
So that's kind of the difference. While I'm in landscape, I'll go ahead and show you yes, no, HD. Yes, no, HD is a very simple communication device. You can take pictures, words, and recordings. So something like, I want to stay inside, please. Versus,
I want to go outside, please.
And then you've got your very simple yes, no toggle.
Yeah. No.
So that's so that's as opposed to the small talk, which was free. This is $4. So that gives you an idea of those two. Let's go on to graphics-based communication. And graphics-based communication, I'm going to show you these, but I might show you another one too. So let's do advanced category. So graphics-based is your basic. This will be familiar to most of you. Oh, if I show you. It's your basic, I want to, nope, go back. I want to verb, I want to sleep.
I want to sleep.
A basic icon-based communication. And the icon-based communication can come in several forms, kind of like you saw with the small talk. So you could have that one, or you could have something like this one, which is this one isn't picture-based. So let me find this one, Talk Rocket, which has the opportunity to do pictures, although I have not put in pictures. So the pictures are not in there, but I have the opportunity, if I wanted to add those pictures.
Just right.
So pictures can look like a list, like this, or they can look like a grid, like this. So that's graphics-based communication apps. And just because I'm here, this is our most expensive one that we have on here. And let me turn it so it can. This is our $300 app, which in the realm of apps is astronomical, but in the realm of dedicated speech-generating devices is still nothing. So incredibly reasonable overall. So, you know, I want to play
ball. I want to play ball.
Very, very straightforward. This one's called Touch Chat. Touch Chat. So again, those are some of the, and to give you a price breakdown, Sonaflex, the version you were just looking at is a free version. There's also a $100 version. Touch Chat starts at $150 and goes up from there, depending on what additional sets you buy. And the other one, Talk Rocket, I forget what the price for Talk Rocket is, but I know that it's also a subscription. And then finally, text-based communication looks a little different. So let's go to Predict Words. And it could look something like this. This is called Predictable. Oh, thank you. I forget which piece of technology I need to be using. So let's see. I want to watch, and you see how this is called word prediction? Watch Monty, Monty, didn't have Monty. There's Monty. If I tap it, it's going to put it in twice, so I'm not going to do that. Monty, Python, flying, circus. There's circus. All right.
I want to watch Monty Python Flying Circus.
And then I can use this in a number of different ways. I can instantly email it. I can instantly post it as my Facebook update. I can instantly tweet it. I can also add it to my categories. And I'm going to select a category, and I'm going to select stuff I say all the time. Thank you. And now I don't want to add a photo, but I have the option. And so I can go to my phrases, and I have categories, such as my family.
This is my mom. This is my dad. This is my child.
So I can do categories as well. So that's predictable. That one's a $150 app. There are also Assistive Chat, which is also word prediction, which is only $25. Or something like Verbally. This is the free version. Again, there's also a $100 version. This has a bank of words up here. Anyone who can figure out what the color coding is gets a bonus. I do know, but it took me a while. So you have small words up here. You have a keyboard with word prediction over here. And then you have a bank of phrases. And because it's the free version, you can't adapt it, but you can buy the $100 version.
Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alicia Contreras, and I work for the Independent Living Research Center in San Francisco. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's always great to, spread the word about the fabulous work that we do. And my position there is AT Educator, which stands for Assistive Technology Educator. And as Jennifer said, I totally agree. We don't know everything. We learn as we go, and when we have learned something, something new comes. So we keep learning every single day. And one of the things that we have at the center is the benefit of belonging to the AT network. And the AT network is a program in California, which means that if we don't have something, but another center in California has it, we work together so it can be shipped to your home, and then you can return it the same way, and it costs nothing unless you are not an individual. So there are some rules, but you can visit our website, and I'm going to talk about the AT network, how it works. But before that also, I want to say what the Independent Living Research Center San Francisco is about. Have any of you gone to our center? All right. I see a few hands here. And we have different programs there. We have workshops that are free every Monday at 1:30. We have housing workshop where people can learn about the rights. Let's say that I am renting an apartment and I need a grab bar. Do I have the right to have the grab bar? If I want to know, answers like that, the workshop is a great place to learn about it. We are about advocacy, just like the host organization is. Also, we try to help as much as we can to our clients, so you know your rights and you know where to go and get help when you need help. We have workshops every Thursday at 9:30 in the morning, and these workshops are about benefits. One problem that we see very often in our community, and meaning our community, people with disabilities in general, is that people who get SSI or SSDI or any benefits many times don't know that if you get a part-time job or some income, you will lose some benefits. So some people get in trouble because they keep receiving the check, and then suddenly it's like, you owe this much money to the government. And we do these workshops so you know what are the rules of the game, and you can plan ahead. Okay, if I'm going to work, I know that by this time I will not get these checks. So I need to figure out how am I going to plan my finances so I don't get in trouble with the government, for example. We also have the staff. We are people with disabilities. Like most of the staff are people with disabilities ourselves, which means that we share our experience peer to peer. So we don't have degrees in the medical field. As you probably have heard, independent living is a different model. It's all about our own experience, sharing with others what we have learned, and empower each other, sharing the roads that we have found, how we navigate the system, how we can find jobs and keep them, and how can we perform things using assistive technology. So going to assistive technology, that's my field. And we have this incredible program where, as Jennifer was saying, people can borrow. I mean, it's a program that is similar to hers, but it's a little different. Like Jennifer was saying that you can borrow iPads for 2 weeks. We do have a few iPads, but it's not only about iPads. There are many things in the AT network, and you can borrow them up to 30 days. So you can try them before you purchase something. And as I have said before also, it's so amazing that we live in the Bay Area, because there are so many organizations. And some people might think, oh, this is competition, but not. Because now I actually just learned today that if someone is waiting for an iPad and our iPads are all out, I can send them actually to the Center for Accessible Technology because I know that they also have iPads. So we share, like actually, when Steve learned that the speaker couldn't come, he called me and he said, Alicia, do you know anyone who knows about the iPads? I'm like, oh, of course, Center for Assistive Technology. So we collaborate. We don't compete as much as people think. We actually collaborate. If someone comes to my office and say, hey, I need training on Dragon, for example, we don't do that. But I know that that organization does. So I would send them to the Center for Assistive Technology. And that's how we collaborate. So what is the AT network? Has anyone here heard about the AT network before? Oh, there are a few hands. How many of you have borrowed actually something? No one? Wow, okay. Well, hopefully after this training you will borrow something. Okay, let's see. So, everybody here know what is assistive technology? All right. Assistive technology is any device, gadget, hardware, or software used by a person with a disability to do things for ourselves that might otherwise be difficult or impossible to do because of our disabilities. Anything. My wheelchair is assistive technology. What else? In this case, the microphone could be assistive technology. And here, would you please put it a little higher? The Pocket, I remember the name is Pocket Pro. And we have some of them, actually. It's to help people to hear better because it increases the volume of the environment. And it also selects the sound. It cuts some of the sounds that are noise, so to help the person to hear better, as far as that's what I have read. Is that accurate? Feel free to say, no, Alicia, this is different. What other things? Whoa, I didn't do that. What other things, like, I would love to hear what kind of assistive technology people have used. Like, you raise your hand if you have used something that you think is assistive technology. Glasses, yes, I also have. How many people here wear glasses? A bunch of us need this assistive device. What do we do when they break, huh? Good luck with that. What other thing have you used that you, yes? Everybody heard that? And there are a few, some people call them the smart pens, and there are different brands, and some have some beautiful things, some others have other beautiful things. Like one thing that my coworker says is, what I like about this one is that I can use it with any notebook, and I don't like that with the other brand, I have to use only their notebook, so I have to keep buying their notebooks. And so let's say that you are buying that pen, and you want to know, okay, should I go for this one or should I go for that one? A great resource is actually our AT network, because you could borrow, we have those. You can borrow it, you can try it for a month, and then let's say that you want, like, I want to try the other one also because, you know, I want to see what's the difference. If we don't have it, but another center has it, it will be shipped to your house, try it for 30 days, and hopefully after 60 days, you will be able to decide which you like the best. There is the Assistive Technology Act of 2004 funding, and the Department of Rehabilitation has a contract with the California Foundation for Independent Living Centers to implement the program. What this means is that actually my position is funded thanks to the Assistive Technology Act, and this makes our programs actually kind of sustainable as long as the rules don't change, right? As many of you, this is one of the things that keeps organizations like ours going. So when funding is actually assigned to a certain project, you kind of have the guarantee that the program will continue. So as far as we know, our program continues. The AT network exists to connect Californians with disabilities to the assistive technology we need. And we serve people of all ages with all types of disabilities. Do you have a question? Oh. So it doesn't matter what your disability is. You don't have to actually prove that you are disabled. We trust you. You know, if you say that you are disabled, we believe you. And you can borrow the things. There are different programs. There is the AT device loan libraries. We have that program. There is the AT reuse initiative. We don't have that program, but we have a great relationship with the Center for Independent Living in San Mateo and also in Berkeley. And they both have a program where you can donate something. Let's say you don't like the pen anymore because you have the fanciest, newest one. So you want to donate. You don't want to put it in the trash. A reuse center would use it and reassign it, sometimes for free, sometimes for a small fee. Wheelchairs, shower chairs, you name it. Whatever the technology is, sometimes you would be surprised of how many things you can find that are very cheap or free and in great shape. The AT network also has trainings. There are webinars. You can go to the website and you can actually download the webinar and you can learn a lot there. The membership is free. You actually just sign up at the main website and you pick your password and it's a membership that is free. I'll tell you what is the AT network website. There are AT search tools that I will show you very quickly, and there is also some information and referral. In the state, there are 13 device lending libraries, so you have 13 times the possibility that you will find what you need. You can check the inventories. Here is the website, actually. It is exchange.atnet.org. And I brought a few brochures that fell somewhere there, but I will pick them up for you if you are interested. And if not, you can just go online, and that is the website. I'll skip this. That's how the website looks. So if you go to the AT network and you click on AT Exchange, that's where you can find things. And the search is actually very simple because you can basically put, like, I just Google, like, for fun, like, autism, to see what was in there. And there were, like, 3 things that people who have used them with people who have autism have put them under that category. And that's how you can find things that are, more likely for you. And if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can also put right there what you're looking for. And the last thing I'm going to say is that actually, right now, I am putting together a list of things that we will buy for the library. So if you have in mind something that you want to purchase, but you don't know you really want it, this is the best opportunity for you to contact me, because I would be happy to include it in our list of things that we will purchase. And if my boss approves it, I mean, of course, there will be things that we wish we could buy, but depending on the budget, if we are lucky, we can put that thing there so you can borrow it as soon as it arrives, and then you can make the decision. And most likely, other people also will be interested in having that, since you are already interested. I don't know if there are any questions. We'll wait for the panel when there are more other questions, right? You're kidding me. I have 1 minute. Any questions? Okay, I guess I said everything, or everybody just fell asleep because there are no questions. you know, feel free to contact me. I don't have my phone number there, but I'll give it to you. It's 415 if you're interested. And also Steve can give it to you. You can always contact Steve if you didn't get it now. 543-6222, extension 110, and my name is Alicia Contreras. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.